This is Garrett on Thacker, and today we're going to be going over the strangest horror franchise you've probably never heard of. That being Basket Case. All three of them. Yes, this is seriously a trilogy. Starting in 1982, Basket Case is a neat film, let's just say that. In my opinion, the first one's actually bad. It's a bad movie, and even many times throughout I was saying to myself, this is terrible, when will it end? But I can appreciate it for what it is, because some scenes, they're so bad it's kind of funny. With some of the worst acting I have ever seen out of any movies, and a low budget of $30,000, which is not enough to make a movie on, this movie is something else. If you want to see a deep dive into these three movies, which I am not going to do, check out the Dead Meat YouTube channel. I'm just going to be telling you about the films in general, and some behind-the-scenes information. And trust me, you would rather learn about these movies than actually watch these movies. So let's just begin. Now the plot of this film goes, two brothers, conjoined twins, separated, now they're after they kill all the doctors that separated them. That's the plot of the movie. It's actually a really unique plot, and I like that. The brothers are Dwayne, Bradley, and Bilal. And yes, every time I say Bilal, I'll be saying it like that, because it's funny. Dwayne being the more normal-looking brother, and Bilal being the little squish octopus.
It looks like a squashed octopus.
Now, for a movie that only had a budget of $30,000, the effects on Bilal are pretty darn good, especially for 1982. In most scenes, it's just a prop, other scenes, it's just gloves. And in some scenes, it's even stop motion, which I did not expect out of this movie. And while it's not good, it's not the worst I've ever seen. Although some of it looks pretty darn funny. And I love how this movie, Bilal will scream. And when he screams, you're going to laugh. It's a fact. And since the budget was so low, they would have to stop filming because they would run out of a budget. And they'd have to show it to people to get more money to actually finish the movie. Which I think, who in the world is going to watch the scene from this and go like, oh yes, I want to give my money to this, it's going to be a big success, I like it. And yes, this is a horror movie, so there are kills. And if you think I'm going to show them, you are dead wrong. Demonetization is a thing, people. And this movie has stuff that I am definitely not allowed to show. I'm not even going to mention what it is. But by the end of this movie, Dwayne and Bilal get into a fight. Honestly, a pretty good stunt for such a low-budget movie. They fall, presumably to their death. Of course, they wouldn't die, because 7 years later, Basket Case 2 actually happened somehow. And a surprising thing, it's actually a good movie. And this is probably because it had a budget of $2 million. Not only redesigned Bilal and actually giving a half-decent animatronic? What? And they give us so many cool designs of people in this movie. And it's awesome. And actually having a good story with actually good actors? What? And while Dwayne's actor is not good by any means, he's definitely better than he was in the first film. And I feel like throughout the film, he does get better as an actor. In the end, it leads to Dwayne going insane and reattaching Bilal to his side. And actually, an ending that I actually really like for some reason. I'm not sure why. Basket Case 2 is definitely my favorite out of the trilogy. And then we move on to a year later, 1991, with Basket Case 3. Which is not as good as Basket Case 2, but it's better than the first one in my opinion. And this really throws everything it can at the wall, and it kind of sticks. First of all, we got Baby Bilal's. And when Daddy Bilal and Mommy Bilal love each other very much, I actually think Dwayne's actor is actually decent. Probably in this one because Dwayne is crazy. But one criticism, Bilal does get pushed back in this film. But we do get this one-shot Bilal in spaghetti. That is nice. And this movie has this, and this. Yeah, this movie is nuts. And it kind of sets up a Basket Case 4. But which would not happen, and still does not happen this day, and I doubt it ever will. And that was the Basket Case trilogy. A definitely strange set of horror films if I say so myself. If you have not seen this trilogy, I recommend you do go watch it, just for how crazy and nuts and insane it is. But I guess it's not about I scared on Thacker, and let's listen to that scream one more time.